Now, I get a lot of show recommendations, and I mean a lot. There are people who will literally give me money just to watch a specific show. It's pretty crazy how bad people are like, please, bro, watch this, I need your reaction. And I appreciate it. I'm glad people want to see content from me. And there is one specific show that only one single person has ever requested, and that show is Crossing Swords. Now, I know next to nothing about this show other than the fact that the animation style looks kind of cool, but the one person who does suggest the show labels it as bad. He treats it like the second coming of the Antichrist. Just, there was a virgin out in the street, and when she gave birth to Crossing Swords. It is that garbage. And it has pretty good reviews on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, so could it really be that bad? The show didn't go on for very long, so, maybe it is that bad and people did like it, but they liked it for the wrong reasons. I don't really know. We're going to be trying to see, was Crossing Swords actually that bad? And if you like content just like this, please make sure to like and subscribe because I upload every single day and you don't want to miss it. If the content here on YouTube just isn't enough for you and you want anime content, gaming content, bonus content, my Patreon will be in the description. And if you want a place where you can talk about your favorite games, movies, and shows with like-minded people, my Discord will also be in the description. Now let's finally take a look at Crossing Swords. The very first episode that I took a look at was called Good Vibrations, and honestly, for one of the best episodes in the series, at least according to the Holy Grail IMDb, it was a little bit all over the place. There were some jokes that were genuinely funny and other jokes that made me want to seize, collapse to the floor and just go, ah! Because why are they doing that? Why would they want to animate that? Why would anybody want to see that put on a screen? There's some jokes that are genuinely like that, but overall, I will say, it is a little bit entertaining what they decide to do here, and obviously I'm looking at one of the best episodes, so it doesn't really speak for the entire show, but they got an interesting concept to say the least. The best way that I could describe my feeling, at least for the intro sequences, is it kind of made me feel like Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. Right, Cusco's poison. The poison for Cusco. But in this case, I'm watching some of the dumbest conversations I've ever seen where this one character, the main character Patrick, he walks up to this guy, and his name is Fettuccine Da Vinci. And they say, Da Vinci, like Leonardo, da Vinci. And he's like, no, I fucking hate that hack.
No, nothing like the portrait painting long-haired fucking hack.
I hate that piece of shit. And I'm just sitting there like, right, Leonardo Da Vinci, not Fettuccine Da Vinci. Got it. That's how it made me feel. I was just mindless while watching it. And they do that joke 4 times where he's very upset at Leonardo da Vinci because his name is Fettuccine Da Vinci. It's not my fault that you were named after a pasta, buddy. If I looked you up and down and you were named Fettuccine, I would have no choice but to try and eat you, you dumb fuck. That's just the way it is sometimes. So they get into that argument a lot, and Patrick wants to build a little running mill for his cat or something, like a little hamster wheel for his cat. I don't know, it's kind of all over the place. And so they go into the queen's bedroom, and the queen is a nymph, I guess, a nympho. She's freaky. She's literally wearing a strap on, a big schlong that she's about to use on herself. And she stares at Fettuccine Da Vinci, and she's all like, why is this man in my room fully clothed? And I'm like, whoa. You're the queen, aren't you married, girl? What are you talking about? I'm just sitting there right, naked. She wants her naked. Oh, okay. A little bit odd. So he builds the cat a giant hamster wheel, and the cat starts running, and the queen, she starts getting extra freaky and turns it all the way up, and then I'm assuming she's getting freaky on the mattress. All of a sudden there's an explosion, and the queen is just sitting there and she goes into a coma from too much of that good flicking the bean with a giant schlong or just pounding the tuna, pounding too much tuna, and she ends up in a coma from pounding her tuna just way too hard. And, that's where the episode gets a little bit more interesting or a little bit worse. I can't really tell. So the king, he finds her, and literally she's been in a coma for about 30 minutes, and he's like, I need my depression robe, and I need some chamomile tea, and you know what? Fuck that shit, I need a backup queen, I need somebody fun, somebody whimsy, somebody hot and sexy with a little curvy body. And they all have the same bodies, except there's specific women They're like these little claymation dudes. I don't know if it is claymation, but they're like little squares, and they'll just like slap on some boobs. And like, it looks odd, but I guarantee you there's somebody watching this at home like, oh, that little 2D figure, oh, I'm gonna bust to it. Oh my god, this is exactly what I needed. Oh, a rectangle with circles on it, yes! Like, they probably get freaky for these things, but I don't know. I just think they look a little bit funny. So, then they decide that they're going to host this pageant to find a backup queen. So a bunch of women are very excited about this, thrilled about this. There's one main lady who's like a pirate lady, and she seems like she's plotting something, but she wants the riches, the fame, that king schlong, all that good stuff that comes with being the one in charge. So they all start their own pageant. They all start singing and dancing and getting nude, freaking out a little bit. And yeah, it's interesting to say the least. The king just wants the hot one. But then we cut to the back with all the girls, and they're discussing the pageant, how much it means to them, what it means to potentially be the next queen. And some of the things they say are really weird. Like, there's this one lady who's running all the makeup, and she's like, all right, girls, come here. Oh, everybody, okay. So, you want to be the queen? You want to be the queen? Well, you gotta get your asshole bleached, darling.
It's for yourself. You're all queens who don't need to do any of this to impress a king. Now turn around and bend over so I can bleach and wax your assholes.
You gotta do that. And then, well, one girl is just getting her, you know, anal rummaged just with like sandpaper or whatever you want to call it. She's like, I'm super high right now. I thought this would just be fun. Like, as you're getting your asshole like filled with sawdust, which was just a interesting concept, at least to me. It was a little bit weird. And then another girl, who I'm assuming was like a servant girl, is trying to be the queen, and she has a very weird analogy about jalapenos going up your rectum, and she's like, right, I won't be getting no more jalapenos in my ass.
Ass fucked with a jalapeno. But if I'm queen, it will be my jalapeno doing the ass fucking.
No way! I'll be doing the jalapenos in your ass! And I don't know, they all talk very weird. They all talk like, I don't know. Can't even describe it. It's just a, you know, just nonstop, like, insane measurement of how much they talk about their rectums and what's going inside of there. And it's just so odd that we put such a focus on that. That was like 2 minutes where it's just talking about, you know, the booty hole. And I wasn't really about it. Some of it was a little bit interesting. Some of it was, you know, I don't really want to watch this. And then they pulled off the biggest shocker of the night. Something to truly haunt your dreams. Something to make you question reality. We cut to Patrick, and he's trying to do everything that he possibly can to get his mom back. He's sitting there, and there's this guy, I don't know his name, but he's sitting there and he's like, all right, I'm gonna make sure that the queen, she can get all of her body excrement out of her body. I am the piss jockey. And I gotta tell you, son, I really like helping the queen do this. And I was like, please don't have a piss fetish. Please, just don't do something freaky with it. Don't do something freaky with it, please, Mr. Piss Jockey. I'm begging you. I'm pleading with you. Don't do something freaky with the queen's piss. And boy, did he let me down, because he's like, well, I guess I'm not afraid. And he just started guzzling down an entire bowl of the queen's wonderful golden shower.
It is fast.
Oh, hell no!
And I was just left in awe as to why this is happening to me, why any of this is happening to me. But, you know, they kind of redeemed themselves with the next scene, giving one of the funniest, like, kissing a princess jokes that I've ever seen. I'm sure this has happened in other shows or in other media, but it's the first time I've seen a joke like this, where they're like, okay, we gotta get her out of coma, so they hire a handsome prince, and the prince walks in and he's like, oh, hello, madame. Oh, come here, baby. Oh, I'm gonna give you a big old wet one. And he reaches in, he goes to give that wet, devilish, little smooch. And then he gets real close to her lips and he's like, I'm not falling for that. I'm not getting locked in legal trouble again. And Patrick, the son of the queen, is all like, what, you're not even gonna kiss her? What if it wakes her up? What are you doing? And he's like, I'm not falling for that again. Unconscious woman, no consent. Oh, fat chance.
I respect you.
I would very much like it if you woke up on your own time.
And then he leaves, which I honestly thought was a pretty funny fucking joke. Like, that was pretty goddamn good. Like, I can't even lie, that was really funny. So then the 7 dwarfs come for some odd enough reason. They're there. And their entire joke was actually pretty funny because they're there to guard the queen while she's in a coma. Because, you know, the 7 dwarfs, they're like, they find this woman in a coma and they're like, oh, hi ho, we've got to guard her, you know. Oh, hang on, I need this for this. Hold up. Hang on. Hi ho, we've got to guard the woman, you know. Oh, hi ho. You know, the dwarves just be like that. They gotta guard unconscious women. It's just what they love to do because they can't let nothing unconsensual happen. That wouldn't fly. And so Patrick asks the wonderful question that we were all wondering. Well, if you're here, who's guarding Snow White? And it cuts to the forest and Snow White is just getting mauled to death by a wolf.
Snow White.
Oh, don't worry about it. She's safe in her secure glass case.
And that was actually pretty goddamn funny. That earns a knee slapper right there. That was some good comedy. I can't lie. So they made me watch a guy drink piss, which really made me want to just have a heart attack, like, on purpose. But then they just leveled up with some actually good jokes. And, you know, I kind of admire it. So, they then have the queen get electrocuted by Da Vinci, and she comes back. In the meantime, there's a lot of other stuff going on with the pageant. Like, there's one girl who's like, okay, that was probably really insensitive of me. I don't know. She was doing Mongolian throw singing, and it's actually really cool. I can't be a Mongolian throw singer. I don't know how. I could, no, I can't do it. But I really wanted to try. So, oh wait, the queen isn't back yet. I jumped the horse. I'm going ahead in the episode. Right before that, the guy who was drinking her piss, I guess it didn't taste enough. Perhaps she wasn't drinking enough apple juice, because he immediately goes from, oh yes, I need all of her excrement. Please, extra excrement, please. Oh yes. To, let's kill her. And he grabs a pillow and he's gonna shove it over her face and end her life. He has the pillow and Patrick stops her. And then that's when they get the idea to get Fettuccine Da Vinci to come back, and they do the same fettuccine joke where it's like, Fettuccine Da Vinci, what do you mean Leonardo? And he's like, no, I don't mean Leonardo, because he freaks out. And I'm just sitting there once again, just feeling like Kronk, like, right, Fettuccine, not Da Vinci, because that joke is ultimately pointless, but hey, whatever, you gotta have a little bit of a gimmick in your life. So they decide to put like clasps, like car jumper cables on her nips, and she jumps up, perks up, and she now has the power of the holy lightning god, Raiden, Thor, whatever you want to call it. She is up, and now she wants to go and get revenge. So the king, he's watching all these women, and the queen shows up, and she's like, you dirty bastard! Oh, I was in a masturbation coma for 2 hours, feeling nothing but bliss. I couldn't even move. Oh, I just busted so good, and you were going to replace me. So she's threatening the king's life, willing to chop off his head, willing to get rid of him, be done with him, throw him out, off to the woods, that bastard. And that is when Bloom, or Blossom, their daughter, comes home from school and is like, why aren't one of you dead yet? Like, I left school early for this. And Patrick, being quick to, you know, understand the situation and understand how to solve all this stuff, he sees his sister and just pushes her down into this room. And obviously I would have more of an understanding if I didn't start this late in the series, and I guarantee you I'll get people commenting like, oh, well, if you would start with episode 1, then you wouldn't really have this problem of knowledge. I don't care. Comment it. I don't care. But she gets pushed into a pit where there's a kangaroo wearing boxing gloves. I don't know why. And the kangaroo is all like, blimey, I gotta get this gal. Blimey, alright in there, you're gonna get punched in there. So the king jumps down there because he has to save his daughter. He has to save his daughter. He loves his daughter. He needs to save her and be the guy. So he jumps down there and he's willing to take a pounding from the kangaroo. Such a beautiful sacrifice, willing to do whatever it takes. To save his family. The kangaroo unloads just a Mike Tyson punch, cranks it all the way back, and just blams it into his face. And that is when the king collapses, but then the kangaroo just has a heart attack.
This bastard's having a heart attack.
what? Like, the kangaroo just goes like, blimey, and like collapses to the ground. And then, like, my hopes and dreams are shattered because boxing kangaroo is fucking dead. But then they get my dreams back up with baby kangaroo coming out of the kangaroo's womb, emerging like the hero we never knew we needed. It's a baby kangaroo with boxing gloves. And the king's all like, oh, I saved it. I saved the baby kangaroo. And then the baby kangaroo just goes, and also dies.
Save the kid! That is a very unlucky gene pool.
No. God, it's a travesty. It's really sad. It's like almost as bad as Amy Schumer and Lizzo getting on Ozempic and preaching about body positivity when they were really big, but now they're on Ozempic. They're like, oh, look at that fat girl. She can't afford medicine to make me skinny. You know, it's like them. It's like that feeling. That's the best way that I could describe it. Yeah, either way, that's pretty much the entire episode. We get some more piss drinking at the end there, which was very disappointing to see the return of. I didn't really want more piss drinking. I don't know why he had to do that. They have a big old funeral for the kangaroos, and that is pretty much the entire episode. Now, this is a really mixed bag of an experience, at least for me, because this entire episode, it had so much going on that was wrong with it, but there were moments that I genuinely laughed, so it's a very mixed bag of things. Like, I'm trying to, like, weigh out the pros and the cons here of what I liked more. Like, do I hate people drinking piss more than I find it funny about a man being unwilling to kiss a princess because of it being unconsensual? Like, what's more funny here, bro? Okay, so piss drinking, unconsensual. Piss drinking, unconsensual. It's a real debate for me. So when it comes to terms of rating the episode, because, you know, I gotta rate it 1 to 10, you know, that's my thing. I'm Cowlos. You're all up cowing your los right now, just waiting, your toes are curling, you're just digging your fingernails into your desk, just hoping, wondering what I'm gonna say for my rating, and I really don't know. Because there were a lot of things I hated, but there was a lot of things that I liked. It's just such a mixed bag. See, because like, if it was this mixed, I would give it a 5 out of 10, but that just doesn't feel right, because a part of me wants to give it like an 8, and then a part of me also wants to give it a 3. So it's just a debate. I think I'm going to give it a 7. I think I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. For all of its faults, it never glorifies anything. It paints the pageant girls when they're telling all of their really awful jokes as being very stupid. And it also paints him drinking the piss, no matter how disgusting that might be. And it's just for gross out humor. It also doesn't paint him in a good light there. It's very odd that he's drinking the divine golden shower. So, you know, take that as you will. But yeah, I'm going to go with a solid 7 out of 10 for this one. Overall, I'm decently impressed. Now heading over to take a look at one of the worst episodes in the series, Let Them Eat Clown. Wow, the quality drop-off from the best to the worst is just astronomical. They literally went from at least attempting to tell some funny jokes, like you're in a comedy club, they're at least trying, they're setting things up. Here, it's literally just like, yeah, dude, look at that fucking naked guy. Oh, bruh, that was like so funny, did you see that like woman, she was naked? That's literally 90% of the jokes in this entire episode is just randomly there will be one of these like little like rectangles that has boobs or a schlong up here, and it'll be out in the open, and that's the entire joke. And it's so sloppy, it's so boring, and like 90% of the episode is also frat guy humor, and they make the acknowledgement that everything that they're doing is frat boy humor. Patrick literally says, wow, this entire thing really just feels like a frat guy satanic cult nonsense, and it's really not that cool. And you're right, man, you're right, because all the jokes, it's just like, it's like the equivalent of if you like went to a college and you go into a frat house and they're like, yeah, dude, let's throw back a keg, bro, let's throw back a keg. You want me to kill that chicken, snap its neck? Yeah, and you just sit there in awe because what the fuck are you even talking about? That's basically the humor in this episode. So, The episode opens with the queen. She's going to go to like this bridal party retreat, and the king is going to go golfing, which doesn't turn out to be the case for either. The king, he goes to this frat guy satanic cult, and again, it's just like that humor where, oh my gosh, look, people are naked. Wow, that's so hilarious, and they're getting so silly and jiggy. It's like they're at Burning Man. It's just not my cup of tea in terms of comedy. I don't think it's very funny. They have this entire joke where a bunch of different kings arrive, and one of them is a mattress king, and he sells a mattress. Woo, that's a knee slapper right there. That's some comedy. Oh my god, he made the king buy a mattress. Woo, really earning your paycheck with that kind of joke right there, man. So they're setting up for their weird frat guy, satanic cult nonsense. And at the same time, the queen, she is also not enjoying this bridal party because she can't drink. And that's the entire joke there. She throws her glass because she can't drink and she's upset. Okay, cool. And then they're talking negotiations and they just end up snorting a bunch of blow, the kings do, because they're like, okay, there's only one way to solve this, bro. There's only one way to solve our problems. I want your kingdom, you want my kingdom. There's only one way to get past this, bro. Okay, let's snort some snow. Ooh, yeah. And then they're just fine. And I'm like, okay, cool, great. And then there's this guy named Shrimp. Well, his name isn't Shrimp, but he likes eating shrimp, so they decide to have a shrimp eating contest for a very long time, which also wasn't very entertaining, like, at all. Like, the animation isn't that good. Like, it's cool. Like, don't get me wrong, it's cool and it's unique, but when I'm watching these things not have hands just guzzle shrimp down, it's not the most entertaining thing I've ever seen. I just have to throw that out there, that it's not going to be making me shiver in my boots with excitement, just shaking and oh my god, he's eating shrimp. You know, it's not going to be making me do that. And then like every like 20 seconds there's a different naked woman, so we cut back to the queen and she's in a sauna trying to cool off, and the pirate lady's there and they're discussing, and then there's this other lady who's agreeing with them and she's naked, and that's the entire joke. She's just like, I agree with you girls, hashtag slay pussy boss queens, and she's just nude, and that's the entire joke of it. Like, I don't like this idea that naked equals funny. Like, when has that ever been the case? You guys were telling some good jokes. What happened to you? I don't get it. I don't get how it could just be this weird. So Patrick, he's going to a storage castle to look for something else, and he finds the old king there, who actually has the most interesting plotline of the episode, which they kind of just drop after 2 minutes, where he has been sitting in that castle waiting for the plague to end, but the plague's been over for 12 years. And so he's like, well, Patrick, I'll help you, buddy. Because Patrick learns that they're going to hunt this poor clown guy, who they've also been establishing for the entire episode is very nervous to give his big performance. He's very nervous, and it turns out that they're just gonna hunt him down like a manhunt. So all of his nerves were for nothing. He's just gonna get murdered. So Patrick doesn't want this to happen because he likes the clown guy. So he makes a deal with the old king that the old king can pass the law of bestiality if he gets rid of clown hunting. Okay. That's cool, I guess. That's awesome. And then, you know, we get one of the most thrilling jokes ever where Patrick is talking to the king, and the king is like, don't go fucking around, Patrick. And it just cuts to a wide shot where there's a bunch of people just doing the freaky nasty with each other, just pounding each other's meat. And that's the thrilling joke they came up. Don't go fucking around. Oh, and everybody's fucking. Oh, I get it. Oh, how hilarious and silly and different. What a thrilling and what a beautiful joke, really. Oh, my lord. Really getting my comedy endorphins going here. And so they're hunting the clown. They're hunting him real good, and in with the mix of all of this, where there was the Forest King, who wasn't invited to the party because, I don't know, maybe he wouldn't guzzle an entire keg of beer just to get a bunch of other dudes, like, singing and getting his praises, like, just flapping his man boobs up, like, yes, drink it, drink it, you know? Like, he wouldn't do that, so he wasn't invited to the party. So he set up a bunch of traps, which ruins the entire hunt, and it's over, it's gone, and at the same time, the queen is doing like a heist because she wants to feel alive, and they steal this boob statue. And then they have this decision that she can't go and be a pirate. It was a one-time thing, so that entire plotline was ultimately meaningless, and I'm assuming has no overall purpose. It was just boring. And then the king is upset with his son, yells at him for a while, and then he makes one of the most thrilling jokes I've ever seen. I can't show you a lot of this because, again, it's just naked equals funny. And even if it is a rectangle with a little circle head, I don't think YouTube would like it very much. But he's like, you know, son, I'm so mad at you. I could just get the hypnotizing clock and reverse time and hypnotize you. And then a man walks in with his schlong just hard as a rock with a hypnotizing watch on it. And that's the entire joke. Yep. That's all they had to offer there in that wondrous, beautiful scene. And then the king goes home and he left the jester in charge of everything, and the jester is dead. No! So he's sad, and that's how the episode ends. And that was just a complete and utter waste of time. Oddly enough, the person who was requesting the show pointed out that episode Good Vibrations as being some of the worst things that he's ever seen. I thought that episode had way more to show. At least they were trying with the jokes. Like the joke with the prince coming and trying to kiss her, and he was like, this is unconsensual. That was set up well. That was set up funny because there was like so many moments where he was like looking like he was gonna give her a big old smooch, and then he was like, I cannot do this. Like that was set up well. This entire episode, it was genuinely just naked is funny. There's literally a scene where it's just like, put your vag away, and then it just cuts to a naked character and she's like, oh, okay, and leaves. Like, that's just boring. That's just nothing. And then all the other frat boy humor was just boring. Like the shrimp eating contest, who cares? Like, if it's animated well, like, I don't know, if Goku and Vegeta are eating a bunch of shrimp, then sure, I'll watch it, because then they would just be like, you know, horking that down, just guzzling it down their throat. But in this case, it's literally like imagine I'm eating, and that's it. That's your animation. It's just pointless, and I don't understand why it would even remotely be necessary. I was not a fan of that. I just thought the majority of this episode was done very badly. Very, very badly. If I was to rate this episode 1 to 10, I would probably give it a solid, like, 3 out of 10. Like, some of it was fine, but the majority of it was just insufferable to watch. So how is Crossing Swords? Would I recommend it to every single person across the millennia, praising it for being one of the greatest television series of all time? No, not really. Obviously, I watched one of the best episodes in the series, which gives me a deeper look into what they're capable of doing, but I guarantee you the majority of the series is like the episode Let Them Eat Clown, a complete and utter reliance on shock humor and edgy jokes. A lot of adult animated shows, they tend to be on this idea that, oh, if I just curse, or oh, if I just show a naked body, somebody is going to laugh. And there are people out there who just come home from a long day and all they want to see is, you know, some boobs and be like, ho ho, the boobie, oh, that's so funny. But not me. I personally love it when my jokes are set up well, when there's some good, like, thought behind it. And obviously that's not everybody's cup of tea, but some of my favorite shows are like that, with, like, South Park, for example, old classic Rick and Morty, Smiling Friends. There's a lot of setup in those jokes, and there can be good shock humor and edgy jokes thrown in there, like just random jokes, but it still has to be done tasteful and it has to relate to the episode. Sometimes in this, it's just like, stop fucking around, and then there's just a bunch of people having sex, and that's just not that funny. There's nothing else to that. It's just either I laugh at these little rectangles getting down and dirty with each other, or I just don't care and I'm left feeling bored, and that's the major problem, and I can tell the majority of the series is definitely like that. I think it does have a lot of potential, and obviously it's over now and it's probably never coming back, but if they would have done more stuff where they, like, give into this fantasy idea, like all the jokes they were doing with the queen being in the coma, like there was one where a witch came over and ate an apple and, like, pretended to die, and then she was just trolling the unconsensual prince kissing. Like, all of that stuff was really interesting. Hell, even the, like, fettuccine da Vinci, that was at least clever, and it's making fun of history. It's when they do this over-reliance on just random edgy sex jokes that it's just not as funny. And that guy drinking the piss, that is just, like, pure shock humor with no setup. He's just like, the golden shower. There's not a whole lot to that for me to cling on to or to want to ever see again. It's just purely shocking. and if you got a laugh out of it, you got a laugh out of it. Personally, I was disgusted, but again, it's just like what a lot of shows do that are adults shows. They just throw things at you, hoping that it'll make you laugh, and if you laugh enough, maybe you'll come back for another episode. I personally will not be coming back for another episode, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It might come out a little bit short. I'm not really sure how long. I think I talked for 16 minutes straight about that first episode without stopping, which might be a new record for how long I could talk with no script and just one take, because God, I'm just such a yapper. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you've been enjoying the content, trying to stay to that daily content grind. I got a lot of stuff coming. Again, if you're interested in my Patreon, I always got to plug that. I'm going to be doing anime content. I recently reacted to episodes 3 and 4 of Jujutsu Kaisen, with actual footage from the show, my live reaction. So that's fun. Just a little bonus content if you want to support me a little bit more over there. My Discord's popping, and yeah, I appreciate every single one of you, especially those of you who tune in for every single video. It means the world to me. Let's keep grinding for 50,000 subscribers. We're gonna get there eventually. I know it. Even on the low points of the channel, even when the number days are hard, gotta just keep grinding. So make sure you're doing everything you got to do to stay healthy. Eat food, drink water, go outside, get some sunshine, do something that makes you happy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.